Back in 2010, I was skeptical about the next Kingdom Hearts game after the release of the last game, but as more and more of the game was shown, I thought it'd be an interesting one. A game that didn't focus on the main character of the series, Sora, but we had a Roxas-looking character and the two other Keyblade wielders of Terra and Aqua. Well, I pre-ordered the PSP edition of the game, got up early that day, and picked it up by riding my bike during school hours, leaving the grounds to get the game. And I played it religiously in high school until I broke it a few years later. But they would release the game on the PS3 as part of the 2.5 Final Mix, and this one was another version of the game that Japan got that we didn't, that had an extra chapter with one of the game's protagonists, Aqua. But we will get there in a second. We have a plot summary to go through. I'll be looking at the PS4 version of this game, and since this game has 3 story modes, I'll try and combine them together as coherently as possible. So let's start again with... What the hell? Andre? What are you doing here?
Well, I figured since I know more about Birth by Sleep than you do, I figured to help you out on this one, bud.
I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to get another person's perspective on this, but I'm calling the shots.
Yeah, for now. But we're ignoring Union Cross.
Yeah, it's fine. We're not even at that point for it to be relevant.
Now, without any further ado, let the adventure begin.
With Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep, Final Mix. So the story begins with Xehanort holding a mostly dead Ventus.
Why won't my arms move? You've been mostly dead all day.
Xehanort goes to leave him on Destiny Island, but Ventus's heart dives to the Station of Awakening, where people close to the brink of death go to, and Ventus reaches out to another heart to help repair his heart.
He then wakes up enough to show Xehanort that he is still alive and kicking. Fast forward to Ventus waking up in his room on the Land of Departure, where he goes out and watches the meteor shower, where he runs into Aqua and Terra, 2 fellow Keyblade wielders, who are about to take their Marka Mastery exam tomorrow.
Aqua gives them each good luck charms, wayfinders in the style of Papu Fru, so that way they can stay in each other's lives. We are then shown Mickey Mouse also taking the Marka Master exam with Master Yen Sid, and Master Yen Sid feels something ominous on the horizon.
Back on Land of Departure, Master Ericus gives Aqua and Terra their final exam, while an old man Xehanort observes. During the exam, he has his own flare of darkness into the mix, that for whatever reason Master Ericus doesn't stop or say anything concerning his views on darkness, as we'll see later, but ends up with Terra failing due to being unable to keep the darkness within him in check, and Aqua passing and being named Master.
Xehanort walks off meeting a boy in a mask, later be revealed as Vanitas.
Ah, you mean Best Boy, right?
Anyway, moving on, he asks him that he thinks about Ventus hinting at some kind of ulterior motives that this old man would be known for. I mean, hey, he's the villain in the last few games, and this is supposedly where he started it all.
Terra, frustrated with failing his test, goes to cool off, but Xehanort plants the idea into his head that darkness is nothing to be feared, and that the light isn't always the answer to things. Which he's absolutely right, as future games will show, but we need to have a Palpatine versus Anakin storyline going on here.
Xehanort leaves, and Terra and Aqua are summoned to Master Ericus to tell them a new enemy has appeared, dubbed the Unversed by Master Yen Sid. Ericus tells Aqua and Terra to go out and protect the Princesses of Heart, and that this would be another chance for Terra to become a Master.
What's just random chance of becoming a Master is such bullshit!
Hey, this is Disney. We gotta be PG, and we ain't at that point.
Ugh. Anyway, Terra and Aqua take off, but not before Ericus warns Aqua that he senses darkness runs deep in Terra's heart, and to bring him home if he loses himself to the darkness. Which, yeah, good luck with that one.
Meanwhile, Vanitas has a conversation with Ventus telling him that he would no longer see Terra again, coasting him to leave his home. Then, not knowing who this person is, tells him he doesn't know what he's talking about and goes off to see Terra.
Terra takes off in his own Keyblade armor ride, which means no gummy ship, with Ven immediately following after. Ericus then instructs Aqua to bring Ventus home as the 3 heads off to different Disney worlds.
To this game's credit, they visited multiple worlds that we haven't seen in the series yet, like Sleeping Beauty's Enchanted Dominion, Cinderella's Castle of Dreams, Snow White's Dwarf Woodlands, Lilo and Stitch's right at the beginning of the movie with Deep Space, a new area with Peter Pan in Neverland, you have the starting world Land of Departure, and finally the Keyblade Graveyard acting as the final world you visit.
You also have some returning worlds including the Mysterious Tower, Olympus Coliseum, Disney Town, and Radiant Garden. Disney Island is also here, but it's mostly for cutscenes only, and there's an extra world in the Mirage Arena, but we'll get to that place when we get to the gameplay.
The trio go about the different worlds only running into each other at certain points, but never deciding to stick together, because that'd be too convenient.
As the game progresses, you find out that Vanitas was created by Xehanort by severing the darkness and Ventus giving it form. Yes, give him form.
Dude, calm down. Well, with that going on, Aquas runs into a small Kairi and unintentionally gives her the ability to use the Keyblade, explaining why she could use it in Kingdom Hearts 2, with her grandmother returning her inside the castle to her nameless parents. I guess it's not like a daycare or something. Well, okay, maybe. Braig also shows up talking about Keyblades and how everyone has them.
I know, right?
And if you pay attention to his eyes, they are brown. Just keep that in the back of your head for right now. Ven also goes on to meet Lee, the human form of future Flame Boy Axel, and Sykes' human form, Isa, where he begins a friendship with them, and that would eventually move on to Roxas, I guess. And they plan on getting inside Ansem the Wise's castle. To sum up each storyline, Terra has a journey that leads him to the dark side thanks to Master Xehanort's meddling. Ventus just wants to make friends and gets his friend Terra back, all while dealing with Vanitas. Aqua's story is a classic tragedy where she tries her best to get her friends back, but ultimately fails.
Terra also gives Riku the ability to use the Keyblade, explaining why he is able to use it in the future. Getting to the endgame, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus meet up at the Keyblade Graveyard, where they meet Xehanort and Best Boy to have a poor excuse of a Keyblade war, which is what Xehanort wanted all along to sate his curiosity. His plan is to create the fabled Keyblade, that's Keyblade in the sense of the ancient letter X pronounced key.
Well, of course the ancient letter X means key. Why? Cause
The X makes it sound cool.
But actually it's more of a keyblade, since it's two Keyblades crossing to make the Keyblade. This is also meant to open up Kingdom Hearts, not the two we saw in the last two number entries. Those were apparently pseudo Kingdom Hearts that were created, but in order to get the original from Legend, here's where many Keybladers fought and left their Keyblades behind to do this. He needed a being of pure darkness and a being of pure light to fuse to create the Keyblade. With step 1 out of the way, step 2 was to make sure that he would live long enough to see the fruits of his labor, hence using Terra as a vessel.
I don't get it. You see, phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3, profit. Oh, I get it. No, you don't.
Early on, Ericus caught wind of his plan and was going to kill Ventus, cause if your people doesn't listen to you, kill him, right? He does this to stop the fusion, but Terra protected Ven and fought back his master when he let his guard down, allowing Xehanort to kill Ericus.
What you say? That you only meant well, cause you did.
During a quote-unquote epic battle with Keyblades clashing, Xehanort has the upper hand and our hero gets their butts handed to them. But Terra goes full on dark mode to take care of Master Xehanort, but only for him to merge the two bodies together to create a more familiar looking Xehanort.
But before he can have fun with his new puppet body, Terra manages to break Xehanort's mind before Terra takes a back seat and takes refuge inside of Xehanort. And that ends Terra's part in this war. Moving on to the other two wielders of Keyblades, Ventus makes a valiant try to end the game quickly like a DPS rushing towards the boss, while the tank fails to pull aggro and support watches in abstract horror, only end up frozen and useless like all DPSs.
You good, bud?
No, I'm good. Just bad flashbacks, that's all. Anyway, Ventus' sickle is forced to watch as Aqua gets cut down by a skydiving Vanitas, causing Ventus to get so angry that he unfreezes himself somehow, I guess?
Cause Disney cartoon logic.
Anyway, during the stare down between the two, Vanitas finally decides to drop their mask, revealing
I have no idea who this is.
Sora! Or rather a Sora lookalike due to them linking their hearts at the beginning of the game. Vanitas also takes the time to explain to Ventus that the unverse that had been terrorizing the worlds all came from his negativity. Aww, he just needs a hug.
Sure, that's one way of putting it. Ventus finds out that Vanitas created the Unverse. Well, rather, Unverse are born soon after Vanitas is created by Master Xehanort. Vanitas attempts to destroy the creatures, but he merely absorbs them. Their negativity worsens his mental state, and this in turn spawns more Unverse. It's a vicious cycle. Ventus has a fight with Vanitas that ultimately ends with Ventus shattering the X-Blade and his own heart, causing him to reach out to Sora one last time and harboring his heart until he heals up enough and have Sora return it to Ven at a later time.
But backing up a bit, Aqua fights a now yellow-eyed Braig, who was stalling her so that way Xehanort could take over Terra's body and Ventus' body could rejoin Vanitas to make the Keyblade. Mama, Aqua says she ain't having any of that noise, and
Aqua then wakes up thanks to the king to see Ven's heart is taken over by Vanitas and has the X-Blade. Vanitas tries to give Aqua the business end of his blade, but Mickey helps her lay the smackdown into him.
bullshit!
Dude, again, didn't he? Aqua and Ven double-team Vanitas, Aqua from the outside, Ven from the inside. I know what I said. Aqua fights Vanitas long enough and at a convenient time knocks the X-Blade out of Vanitas' grasp and it starts to blow up shooting keyhole beams. What?
At this point, Vin Chaozu's himself inside and turns Vanitas back to Vin on the outside. The power of the Keyblade blows Aqua and Vin out of the graveyard and into the lanes in between, and Mickey brings their bodies to Yinsit's tower. Aqua takes a mostly dead Vin back to the land of departure and sees the destruction that Xehanort left behind, and picks up her fallen master's Keyblade, and uses the power of locking to transform Land Departure into Castle Oblivion, and leaves Vin there and says she'll come back.
Yeah, like 5 games from now.
Okay, first, rude. Second,
So Aqua finds Terranort and his Guardian and lays the smackdown enough for Terra to temporarily take control and try to free Xehanort from him, but not before the Guardian appears and sends him into the Realm of Darkness, which Aqua jumps in after him. Aqua makes a valiant effort to save Terra, but the game remembers it's a tragedy and she gets left behind in the Realm of Darkness while Terra goes on to be Xehanort, found by Braig and Ansem the Wise. Then, Ansem the Wise would go on to have Xehanort study under him until eventually Xehanort goes all Blade Runner on them and murders and puts everyone to sleep, including Lee and Isa, kicking off future events.
so we're done now, right?
Oh, no, Andre. We still have Aqua's additional story. You see, while Ven is conveniently asleep the whole time and Terra is Xehanort until further notice, we have to explain what happens at the end. You see, the secret movie shows that Terra is still in his body, his soul, if you will, telling Xehanort that he will get his body back, and we will see some stuff about Aqua wandering around the Realm of Darkness until some stuff actually happens before Aqua's talk with Ansem the Wise post Kingdom Hearts 2 about the boy named Sora.
Ah, so Fallen Mix explains all that.
As much as a fistful of laxatives is equal to a colonoscopy.
I'm sorry, what?
You see, Aqua, with only the Master's Keyblade on hand and the Wayfinder, walks into the Realm of Darkness for a bit and takes witness to the Heartless being released into the light. Wondering what's going on, she stumbles deeper into the darkness to fight a giant pure-blooded Heartless that looks like a pure version of the one that we see in Beast's castle. She promptly flexes on it and wanders deeper into the darkness, and she sees Cinderella's castle.
Wait, what? Why?
Well, we will find out in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Volume 2.
Wait, at this point, Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. That's not a game, and I don't think we have a book on that either.
You're right. Nomura wanted to release a game that explained that Aqua just didn't wander around for 10 years.
So, what did she do?
She wandered around in darkness for 10 years fighting isolation.
That doesn't seem much different.
It's not.
So, that's the plot, huh? Now we talk about the game, right?
Oh, we aren't done with the story.
But we covered the story of Birth by Sleep.
You're right, but her story isn't over.
What? You said she just sat around for 10 years.
Yeah, but she did some stuff before that, like explain how even though it's about the time of Kingdom Hearts 1 at this point, time isn't a factor and she's gonna look this good when she eventually comes back out. She makes her way to the castle and sees a fragment of Terra, and she starts to wonder what's real, what's fake in this world. Then she sees Aventus in Snow White's castle.
Hey! Oh, no. Dead broad off the table!
She remembers that she still needs to go wake Ven up and runs into a mirror that leads her into the Snow White's level of darkness world, where she fights mirror reflections of herself. Aqua's sanity falls into question as she sees Ven and Terra walking in Sleeping Beauty's world, and she says she doesn't care if they are real or fake, she just wants to see them again. Where she heads off and fights like a colony of Darksides, thus effectively putting them at a new level of pathetic. She runs into Terra and Ventus, who Terra responds to her, but he can't see her or Ven. He says he's there, but he is no longer Terra and now Xehanort, and because that he has ties to the darkness, which is why he can talk to her. She then tells Terra that he had Ventus hidden in the Chamber of Awakening, and Xehanort takes over to find out where Ventus is so that way he can go find him, which explains why he takes over Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, Nomura thought that far ahead, I'm sure.
Aqua passes out from the darkness and is wakened up by the king and informs her that the Dwellers of Darkness is called Heartless. Mickey says he didn't know that she'd be here and asks what happened to her, and she wants to know how long has it been, and he says 10 years.
And how did he get in there?
He sat around waiting for the Heartless to take over a world and be engulfed in darkness to find the Keyblade of Darkness.
So he let a world get consumed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and also he was so hung up on getting in, he didn't think about how to get out.
Let me guess, he doesn't get her out.
Do you see her in any other game?
So then, what happens?
Well, they go to Destiny Island in the Realm of Darkness and find the Keyblade of Darkness on the other side of the door in the secret place.
Wait, according to Sora, there's no knob. How did they get it open?
Oh, they just pushed it.
Well, that checks out.
They also use the Keyblade to help close the door to darkness that leads to Kingdom Hearts.
So wait, are we now at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 now?
Yeah, and Mickey and Aqua get hit by a wave of shadows that send her flying back into Dark Destiny Island and destroys Mickey's shirt.
Oh, that detail you pay attention to, Nomura.
Yeah, and then the door she goes through disappears because of of course. And she says that she will get back to her friends, and then Mickey closes the door to darkness.
Wait, so what's the point of this story? It's a glorified tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
A son of a bitch.
And that's the end of Birth by Sleep's story, and while I did tell the story of 0.2, the gameplay is almost one-to-one Kingdom Hearts 3, so when I get to that point, you can apply to that. But on the other hand, you can dress your Aqua in cat ears and Mickey ears and accessories.
Yeah, that totally makes it worth the purchase.
Alright, let's finally talk about the gameplay. So since the story is told in 3 segments, we have 3 different gameplay styles. Terra is your heavy hitter with a lot of HP, considered to be the easier mode. Ventus is a backhanded Keyblade wielder that is basically Sora having a balance of attack and magic, considered to be normal. Aqua is considered to be this game's hard mode, focusing on magic, but to be honest, this game is super easy to break. For one, there is no MP meter. Command and magic reload after a certain period of time. You see, this game has command slots that you can meld together to make new commands, essentially how you would use Zenzuken, Blizzard, Sonic Blade, Thunder, Cure, the usual suspects. So if you have 2 Blizzard spells that you level up to rank 2 or 3, you can combine them to make Blizzara, and then another Blizzara or Blizzard to make Blizzaga. You are only limited to what you have command-wise. That being said, Moogles can sell you commands that you have and what you have already made. So the minute you unlock a skill, say Cure, you can have Curaga, and if you know where to look, you can have the late game commands and spells as early as the first 3 worlds. Have Dangerous Tornadoes, Sonic Blade for the win, or screen wiping abilities, just to name a few. And on top of that, you can take gems and get skills like Leaf Bracer, Once More, Second Chance, and EXP Walker. Now, while those are a little harder to get since you have to find crystals from chests or enemy drops, you can go to the arena and get pretty far with it. Yeah, now seems like a good time to talk about it. So the arena was an area that in the original game was able to hook up with friends and play together, and back in high school this was so much fun. Being able to partner up to take down bosses, do challenge runs of Heartless, battle each other in the arena style fights. I wish they would have implemented it into the console version. I'd say it'd be a great fighting game. Well, now they did add some extra boss fights and nerf the ones in here, cause these were meant to be taken care of as a team.
Made it to the Villain's Vendetta, aka the last stage in the original, and the only way you're gonna get your hands on the ultimate weapon for this game. Before realizing it'd be great if I had people to play with to make the final challenge way more bearable. Still didn't get ultimate, by the way.
Oh, I got it, no problem. I had a partner, we both played healer for the end game boss, which one thing that still didn't make sense to me is that in the PS3 and PS4 version, you can buy group Cure, Cura, and Curaga, but you're soloing, so...
Yay for you.
Gameplay wise, they kind of tell you to start with Terra and work your way down in this instance. I played Ven, Terra, and Aqua, but to be honest, just make sure you save Aqua for last since her game continues immediately after you beat all 3 modes, and whatever you had as her at the end transfers over into the new save file. Oh right, yeah, I should probably bring these up. So stickers made a return for Kingdom Hearts 2, and they are mandatory to unlock the secret chapter in Proud Mode.
You didn't pick them up right away, did you?
Hey man, I played this game already enough times. I just wanted to get the story out of the way. The game doesn't tell you this, by the way, and oh yeah, don't pick different difficulties. Either pick one and stick to it for all the characters. I thought I'd do standard for Ventus and blast through with ease, but it became mindless, and because I swapped on Terra and Aqua, the game didn't give me the secret story, so that meant I sped through Ven's story twice and collected all the stickers so I could unlock it.
Well, I always collect the stickers.
Good for you! So 2 things were also added to Kingdom Hearts, that one of which returns at least in a future game, and that is the focus gauge. You lock onto an enemy and move a reticle around them and the others, and then when you let go, unleash a heavy attack that makes short work of foes, and when fully charged up, does extra damage upon time button presses. Also, you are completely invincible while in this mode all the way until the attack is over. The D-Link, which was implemented due to the fact that the PSP could not handle party members like before. So you have these that gives you special abilities in different command slots. My favorites being the King, Zack, and your fellow Keyblade wielders. That was also something I liked, that you could use your friend as D-Links and use their commands as long as your characters could use it. So no dark moves for Aqua and Ven, and no OP magics for the boys. Finally, there's the command style, that if you use certain spells or commands, your character gets powered up and gets a boost in certain attacks, along with some new moves, and later in the game you'll be able to go into the command style level 2.
Hey, heard you like command style, so we put command style inside the command style.
Yeah, my faves for sure being the Wing Blade for Ven, the Ghost Drive for Aqua, and Terra's Dark form. Let's see, what else is there? Well, there's Kingdom Hearts, a racing minigame that was also used for the PSP, a Kingdom Hearts version of Monopoly. Kind of, I don't spend a whole lot of time here, but this is mandatory to unlock some optional bosses in the Mirage Arena as well as the kart racing.
Just remember to do the mini games in the actual arena, or you'll find yourself doing the mini games like 6 different times.
Yeah, I accidentally pulled that myself. So while this game was originally meant to be a PS2 title, it was made on the PSP. Each world is super small, and you can get through each world in like an hour. Even though you may see Snow White's world for the 3rd time, each character sees different parts of a world that other characters wouldn't see. Some do overlap, sure, but there are unique areas for each character. The game's super bosses are not difficult in the sense of Sephiroth and Lingering Will, but more along the lines of dodge and take pot shots and slowly drain their health. Not that great, which these are going to be the reason why you level up in the game. You can beat the game at a super low level for each character, and grind for levels is not hard, but I did find myself putting on background media for those level grinding segments, but hey, that's just me.
EXP Walker is your friend, people.
Yeah, just rubber band the analog stick, go to the Mirage Arena, and just walk around for hours on end. Overall, my experiences with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is some of my fondest times with the PSP. May you rest in pieces in my shed. But this game is definitely a whole lot of fun, definitely a contender for one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games of all time, along with 1 and 2, and makes the 1.5 and 2.5 collection for the PS4 a must-have for anyone's collection. Anything else you'd like to say, bud?
Rhaenyra's is still best boy.
Well said.
Just agreeing with what I say now, aren't you?
Well said. Well, next game I'm looking at will be the last time I look at the series for a while, until 3 comes out, and that's Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes.
Hey, can I join for that one too?
Since the game is 2-player, we can play it together, but let's see if the fans want you to stick around.
Hey, if they don't like me, it's your writing on this one.
Whatever. Anyways, I'd like to say once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon.